know you're busy right now, man. I don't know why you come back to this bum job, but I gotta tell you something. I have been really into this book. It's called Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit by Ellie Cooper and Scott Cawthon. No, we turned your horrible experiences into marketable novels, but I don't care about your well-being and need the money. The first book follows Oswald as he navigates through his boring current life. It's the same boring thing every day. He greets his mom in the morning, and that's the only time he gets to see her, because she works at the hospital, and he spends most evenings with his dad, whom he doesn't like as much as his mom. School isn't much better either. Everybody calls him Oswald the Ocelot, and he doesn't have many friends. You know, this sounds like my life, my bad. Anyway, his life is really bad. It's the last day of school, but he can't even escape the boredom. His parents don't let him even have a phone in class. While his dad is at work, he drops him off at a decrepit old pizza restaurant called Jeff's Pizza, where he gives him money to get a piece of cheese pizza and a soda. As the days fly on by, he gets more and more bored. Luckily, Jeff is very generous and normally gives him some more slices of cheese on the house. One day, the boredom gets the best of him, and he asks Jeff if he can check out the old ball pit he found at the back of the restaurant. When he agrees, he goes in. When he emerges, he finds himself in the middle of a Jeff's Pizza. But somehow newer, it turns out he's in the 80s, and there's no one he knows in sight. Turns out the place he's standing in isn't Jeff's Pizza. It's what came before. He's in a restaurant called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. He wanders around for a bit until he reaches the dining room area. On the stage before him, he sees three robots. One a bear with a hat and bow tie, one a bunny with a guitar, one a chicken holding a cupcake. He also sees a night guard struggling for his life, while a guy on the phone won't shut up. Night guard, by the way, watch the reels I sent you. Anyways, he goes to the arcade where he meets two people, one kid named Mike, and one kid named Chip. His dad is coincidentally also named Mike. As he walks around the pizzeria and talks with the two kids, he sees a weird-looking yellow rabbit waving at him. He shrugs it off. He leaves the ball pit at the same time he left too. 45 p.m. No time has passed. On a particular afternoon, Oswald goes into the ball pit as usual, but he sees a new calendar hanging up, the date marked 1985. He also sees the same rabbit waving at him, but shrugs it off and assumes it to be just a greeter. He grows a fondness for these two kids, and he jumps in the ball pit every day he's dropped off just to spend it with Chip and Mike. They play skee-ball and eat pizza. Doing his best, Oswald tries to have a conversation with the two kids, but everything he likes is from the future, so they don't get any reference. He feels bad about having Chip and Mike cover all the expenses, but his pockets magically fill with tokens when he stands up. The next day, Oswald asks his dad about Freddy's, but he gets nervous. The next day, he jumps into the ball pit only to emerge to hear screaming, children crying for help and running. He tries to find Chip and Mike, only to see the yellow rabbit, who leads him through a private door and down a long corridor. Oswald is curious. He thinks he can't die because he's before a time he was ever born. Oswald enters the barely lit room only to see half a dozen dead children lined up against the wall, each wearing party hats. The rabbit tries to kill him, and Oswald escapes before the cops show up. Back at Jeff's Pizza, Oswald's dad is very angry with him as he's walking to the pit, and his dad lectures him. A pair of yellow arms pulls him under. After rummaging around in the ball pit for a second, the rabbit emerges, only to walk to the car and start it. He tries to get help from Jeff, but he just looks forward aimlessly. As Oswald is in the car, he thinks, is this thing pretending to be my dad? Back at home, his cat sees the rabbit and immediately hides under Oswald's bed in fear. Oswald texts his mom for help frantically, but when she gets there, she's confused, and she says nothing is wrong. The next day, Oswald sees the yellow rabbit seated at the table, and he's mortified to find out everybody sees the yellow thing as his father. The next day, Oswald goes to his first day of middle school, where he meets a girl who just moved into the town. Her name is Gabrielle. She shows him a book she likes about Greek heroes. She likes them because they're brave and not afraid of anything. Back at home, Oswald decides to just play along with the yellow thing. That night, Oswald sneaks to Jeff's Pizza, ordering a soda to distract Jeff. He dives into the pit to find his dad pale and seemingly unconscious. Suddenly, he hears loud, heavy breathing, and he's grabbed by two yellow arms. Oswald breaks free and head-butts the yellow rabbit. The creature is knocked over, only to stand up and reveal an unhinged jaw with two rows of jagged teeth. It lunges towards Oswald, trying to bite his throat, but he blocks it with his arm, using his other hand to break free. Oswald knocks the yellow rabbit into a net, and then jumps on its back. When the yellow rabbit was tangled, a rope tied to a rod at the pit forced one of the ropes around his neck. Oswald watches as it struggles, its cold, dead stare aimed directly at him, until it stops moving. In the blink of an eye, the hanging rabbit was nothing but a lifeless costume. His dad wakes up with no memory of what happened. Oswald tells him he hit his head and fell unconscious, and the wound on his arm came from pulling him out of the pit. They go to leave while Jeff calls out for Oswald to get his soda. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. It's really hard living in East Oakland. I only got these books to keep me company. Good thing I'm raking in revenue for my 8 baby mamas. There's a gang shootout. I have to call you back. Bye-bye.